What is up, RetroManiacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is Mike, and I'm from Mike's Retro Trading Cards. And you know, in the area that I come from, people usually have off on the Monday after Thanksgiving because it's the first day of buck. You know, we all got to go out hunting. But, you know, the people have spoken. They've been calling me up. They've been emailing. They've been texted. They've even called the studio here. And they're like, you know what? We need an update. We need to know what's going on with Rick Probstein and Snype. So we're here to give it to you. You got to give the people what they want, right?
The news doesn't stop.
News
doesn't stop for holiday.
It does not stop. So I am here with the two greatest sidekicks in MRTC universe, Joe Day and EP. What is your name? I don't even know what your name is anymore. EP.
Eugene Ponderosa.
How's it going, boys?
Are you guys ducking and covering out there in Central PA? Bullets flying past you, bob and weave.
I mean, the opening day this year was Saturday, and they're allowing you to hunt on both Sundays this year. So yeah, I mean,
wow, that's a newsman right there, coming in hot with the news.
He's got the important news that people in these parts need to hear. So, yeah. But yeah, growing up, we always had off school the Monday after Thanksgiving for the first day of buck season.
Yes,
I was never a hunter, but I always enjoyed having that day off.
Yeah, and I do like me some deer bologna, deer jerky, venison. I'm a big fan. So there you go.
There you go.
My brother-in-law got a buck yesterday, so first day.
You mean
Saturday?
Right?
Saturday.
You got one on Saturday. Yeah. Come on, EP.
How's it going, boys?
It's going really well. I do have to say, sad clap. Yeah, the Pitt Panthers ended up getting their asses kicked by Miami, to be fair. So we're not going to make the ACC championship game. Very, very sad. But on a positive note, Mike, this will probably be the last time you need to hear about college football for about a year. So yeah, I thought you'd appreciate that. And a big shout out to EP's favorite college football team. There isn't even a close second on this one. The Penn State Nittany Lions, his favorite team of all time, pro or college, from what I understand. They are bowl eligible. They won their 6th game. Did you watch the game, EP? The quarterback for Rutgers just dropped the ball. I'm like, oh, who paid him over there in Happy Valley? It looked really bad. Yeah, but yeah. So this is my last college football report. I did go to the game. I was freezing my baguettes off. I'll tell you that. There were parts of my anatomy that were up into my stomach. There by halftime, it was brutal. It was very cold out there. But you know, as an alum, I had to support the team. Very, very cool atmosphere, but unfortunately we did not pull off the win. So there it is. Clap. And we're off for a year. So you're welcome, Mike. Yeah, I'm sure you're happy about that. Some card related news. Game of Thrones break. Cards, yes. Yeah, we're going to talk about cards a little bit.
We're hunting in college football.
Game of Thrones break. We are now up to 6 spots available, unfortunately, and I understand the reasoning. Someone had to drop out. It is what it is. Things happen. Stuff comes up. So if you are currently in the break or you are interested in the break, let me know. If you're currently in the break and want an extra spot, we do have extra spots available. I try to encourage just 1 spot per person, but if you're interested in an additional spot, let me know and I'll mark you down for that. There are a couple of folks on the viewers of the channel who I have not interacted with off the channel before to get payment from. So if you need to get in touch with me about payment, Mike, maybe you can do a pinned comment like you did before a couple of weeks ago. And we can get payments done. If it does not sell out, we are still doing the break. So this is how it's going to work. I was thinking about this a little bit. If it does not sell out, what we will do is there are 20 boxes in this case. So say we have 3 boxes left that were not sold. My plan is to mark those during the randomization portion as I'm going to mark them as eBay because that's probably where I'll end up selling those boxes. And then as we randomize the spots, if it's box number 3 is eBay, I'll just take that box, put it aside. Box number 8 is eBay, take that box, put it aside, and then so on and so forth. So that's how it's going to work. We're still doing the break. Still should be a great time. But if you are interested, please let us know. The break should take place on December 10th. That's release day, but it will take place somewhere around there. So keep your calendar open for that. And then the next thing I want to talk about real quick is eBay authentication added again. And it finally got to me, boys. But before I get to that one, my buddy John, I told you about his DeForest Kelly autograph, got kicked back, lost $1,000 because it got kicked back for damage that he noted in the description and had pictures of, got kicked back there, put it back on eBay, just lowered the grade break or the condition, what do they call it? The condition breakdown there. He dropped it to excellent, still the same description, still the same pictures, sold again for about $1,000 less, went through the authentication process, and they said it was trimmed. So yeah, I just rolled my and he got it back. He measured it. He's like, I'm going to buy one of those, whatever they're called, one of those tools to like perfectly measure something.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's exactly the size it should be. And who is taking a card that has damage in pretty much the middle back and saying that's a card I need to trim because we can get it from a PSA 5 to a PSA 6? Like it's absolutely ridiculous at this point. He asked me my opinion. Sorry.
Does he feel that they are out to get him at this point? Like
it almost feels that way, or they're out to get Star Trek cards, and that leads into how it affected me. But the long and short of this is, he asked me, "What do you think I should do with this card?" And I said, "Well, personally, I would keep it, but if that's something you don't want to do." They're kind of going to win here because I suggested he send it off to PSA to get authenticated and then have the auto graded, because the auto is a 10 for sure. It's a beautiful card. But like, that's what they want. That's exactly what they want. But sadly, that's probably the best option to then sell it. You might be able to get as much as the original sale if the auto is graded a 10. I don't know. But yeah, just a really, really annoying program at this point. So on Black Friday, I wake up, check my emails, and a card that I had been selling through consignment, my buddy from Canada had sent me some cards. It was a card that was listed. I don't even know the actress, Diane Mulder, I believe her name is. Her cards are randomly valuable in the Star Trek set. So I had sold it. I listed it for $500. It ended up selling for a little over $400. Sent it off, denoted the damage, which there was a little tick of white in the top left corner, put it at excellent, even though I don't believe it's just excellent, but I put it there. Ends up selling pretty much right away. Goes through the authentication program. It's authentic, but they flagged it. And I'm like, but I marked the corner that there was no other damage. There was a little tick of white on the corner, which, come on now, that's nothing. And then I looked at the picture and I'm like, what are they showing? They're not showing any damage. What are they showing? It was a picture of the bottom half of the card. I'm like, it's not bent. So I went and read the year. The year of the card is 2010. Guess what year I put on the title? 2013. You know why? The set came out in 2013. They they flagged this card and said, basically, you lied in the listing because you said it was a 2013 card when the card says 2010. That tells me, I think we're right, boys. The folks who don't know enough to grade cards are being shoved over to the eBay authentication desk. Like, this is unbelievable. It's on Rittenhouse's checklist. It's on every third-party checklist you look at. It's from a 2013 set, because we talked to Steve Cherndorf in the interview. He, with some great foresight, has actors and actresses sign autograph cards to put them in. There are Leonard Nimoy cards in the set coming out in 2026. Leonard Nimoy autograph cards. I'm guessing he didn't sign them in 2026, but that's when the set is coming out. This is a broken program, absolutely ridiculous. I'm so annoyed by it. Luckily, the buyer was like,
Yeah.
and just accepted it. But I almost didn't want him to accept it, the buyer. I wanted to call and yell at the eBay authentication people. I plan to, after the podcast, I plan to ask Nat Turner, what's the deal with this? What, this card was from a 2013 set. It'd be like listing a buyback card from the year that the buyback, the original card. No, you list it from the buyback that it's in, the set that it's in. So just super frustrating. It's just unbelievable with this program at this point.
Who are these people doing authentication? Shouldn't that be part of the authentication? Shouldn't that be part of it? Like find it on a checklist somewhere? Like isn't that like, shouldn't that be part of it?
You would
like,
think so.
Could be.
Yeah.
And now the Rittenhouse does this a lot. We've talked about that. Steve Cherendoff has talked about that on our show. The problem now is, though, I have to go through all these Star Trek cards and list, like, could I have just not put the date? Which sometimes I don't, if there's not enough room in the title. Sometimes I don't put the date, but I'm like, what are you supposed to do? You want to be accurate because it's from a 2013 set. So in the description, do I put 2010 card
2013
copyright
card signed in 2010?
Right. So yeah, that's
just like copyright on card or whatever is 2010, but the set came out in 2013 or something.
Right.
Like that. Maybe you have to.
For eBay authenticators.
Dear authenticator.
Dear authenticator.
Little paragraph with everything.
You almost have to write notes in your description for the authenticator now.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
Like, please note that this set was released in 2013, although it has
the copyright
on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So when they see it, they're like, "Oh, okay."
How they check cards too.
If confused, please see checklist from Rittenhouse, the company that made this card.
Wow.
Whatever. All right, I'm done being mad because there's one last thing. I'm going to be really happy about this. We talked about this last week about possibly using this space for advertising. We got our first one, boys. We got our first advertisement. All right, are you ready? I'm going to pull it down here. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, I need to make it bigger. We've got onlyfans.com /EP Feet. Use the Cyber Monday code UG to save 25% off. All right, there you go. Our first one. And EP paid for the entire 6 months that this spot will be available. He paid for the whole thing. So I'm just going to leave this up here. I'll probably have to create a bigger sign. I'll get on that for the next podcast. All right. So we'll just put that back here. There we go. Okay.
I don't get paid enough to do this.
Boom.
Just wait till the Giving Tuesday stream. It's gonna be lit.
Don't use the word stream.
I don't know what to say. How's it going, EP?
It's going great. It's going great. There's nowhere I'd rather be than here right now. Absolutely. Oh, I had a week of work, and of course, when you have a week like that where I have to go in early in the morning and then work pretty long hours, I got people buying cards left and right. Like I had to ship so many cards this week where I had to be like packing up cards at night at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, and then take them to the post office in the morning, which is not a bad thing. It's a great thing. It just added some extra stuff to it. But the one cool thing that happened is I went to get my mail the one day. Sometimes I go a couple days, I get my mail when weeks like this. And I had an envelope, a small envelope, like a card came. I was like, oh gosh, what that got when returned back to me? Nope. It was my self-addressed stamped envelope with my card from Game of Thrones for the upcoming Game of Thrones stream. This is the promo card. And very, very cool. I was excited to get that. Yeah. And so, yeah, despite having a busy week of work, I had a lot of, now I won't say a lot, but I did plenty of card stuff.
Self-addressed stamped envelope. You can just say sassy. That's how I.
Oh, okay.
Sassy.
Yeah.
Sassy. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a sassy card.
Sassy card. Awesome. So were you able to get everything shipped out?
Yeah, no problem. I got 4 orders, including I got a handful I need to get shipped out later today on Monday. But yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Cyber Monday deals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I got nothing going on. Just, my family was home and I had to tear my studio down, and then I had to try to put it all back together before we recorded. So other than that, I had very little excitement going on. So
the studio you had to tear down for one of your children who has a job and can afford a hotel room. That's all I'm gonna say. Mike, back me up on this. Come on, there's plenty of hotel rooms right next to your house, blocks away.
My wife would probably be staying in the hotel room with them too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Bonus. The place to myself. Woo!
Well, Rob has been away for the last couple of weeks helping his mom. She's moving into one of those really nice, fancy retirement community things. And I mean, famously, it's pretty great when I'm all by myself because I order a ridiculous amount of Pizza Hut, one of those family boxes, and I just gorge on that for a week. So yeah, it's been, Mike, think about it. I mean, maybe for next Thanksgiving, you can rent them a couple of hotel rooms, not have to tear apart your studio and get Pizza Hut. That's win-win.
I like the sounds of that. Not gonna lie. Oh, okay. Well, we better get into it because the people are here to find out what happened with Snype. We had the big, first of all, when I was putting this together, like, it feels like the Snype story was like 2 months ago for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just because there's been so much of it. But news broke early last week, shortly after our podcast last week, that Snype is no more.
Pour one out.
Nope.
Snype is no more. And Probstein, just going back to eBay. Nothing to see here. You know what? Don't just forget that ever happened. It was like, if you're old enough to remember the TV show Dallas, they had a whole season where all this stuff happened, and then they just, had wiped it all away because it was a dream. Apparently, all the stuff we talked about last week was just a dream. Never happened. Probstein on eBay. The world is as it should be.
2 things. One, the other TV reference I would use is remember Newhart, where the entire show was a dream. Like 6 seasons worth of shows was all a dream from his previous show, which is hysterical. And with I use this line a lot, but I'm going to have to use it again. In the words of Jerry Orbach in Dirty Dancing, when I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. I thought Rick Probstein got kicked off of eBay, and that's why he had to get Snype out. So now there is no excuse for that jacked up website. He didn't have to rush that website through if he didn't get kicked off of eBay. So that makes it even worse, in my opinion, how bad that website ended up being. Take your time, brother. You do not need to race out there and create this thing to rival eBay that quickly if you can still be on eBay. So I'm actually kind of shocked. I am kind of shocked that he wasn't kicked off eBay. We talked about it last week. So for him to just kind of tuck tail and run, and it's going to be and we're going to do some a fun video on Wednesday's show about this, but this feels like one of those stories in the hobby that's just people are going to forget about in about 6 months. You know who's not going to forget about it, though? The people who lost their identities because they had no security on the back end of that website. But yeah, allegedly.
Now, well, they originally said that the site crashed because of the high volume, but then they said the issues were caused by the Snype bid, which was ending auctions early, which was actually happening. That is actually true. They also threw out there that they could have been the victim of a cyber attack. So,
I don't have my conspiracy hat. I forgot to pull my conspiracy hat down. But was eBay cyber attacking?
Clearly, to get him to go back so they could make the fees.
Yeah, that's what happened.
We handled it for you.
We figured it out.
We wrapped it all up. They better start inviting us on Sports Card Radio, Dan the Card Man, Neo, all
Right.
you guys. Have us
Yep.
on. Jeff Wilson. We
Yep.
busted the code.
Yep.
The crazy thing is, and I said this before, like there was this glimmer of hope that of all these consigners, that maybe Probstein was the one that could compete because of the volume that they were doing on eBay. Maybe they could compete. Maybe they could like just take a little bit of a cut out of eBay and make them lower some of their fees and stuff. But it wasn't like this. It was so botched. It was so terrible.
So bad.
And the allegations surrounding everything on that back end that the people allegedly found, like, I mean, that makes people. It's going to make a lot of people think, well, I'm not going to buy stuff from them and or sell with them. So it'd be interesting to see the fallout, or if like Joe said, like literally everybody just forgets about it with 20 seconds from now.
I do want to mention a viewer, and I should have written the viewer's name down, but they comment on our video that apparently they had an eBay auction, Probstein did, that they had won or were winning, and it got canceled. Yeah. They won. It was canceled. Then it went over to Snype. That card that they had won on eBay went over to Snype, and then it was canceled there too. So now they're going to have a third bite at the apple. This whole... Again, that's why I'm saying it's so shocking to me that he's back on eBay, because he rushed out the door. It was like his house was burning down and he could only save the dog or something. Like, it was wild. Like he was cutting off people's auctions early. He was canceling winning bidders. They had no idea that this site couldn't handle the volume supposedly that they thought it could, the possible issues with security with it. Like, how in the world did he feel the need to rush this so badly? It's got to be one of the worst rollouts, not just in the hobby, but one of the worst rollouts of a website or anything like this ever, right? Like it was bad.
Yeah,
it was bad.
You can see something like this happening like 2000 or 2001, but in 2025 with
the .com era.
Yeah, with everything available to you as far as like you can just literally watch the YouTube videos about internet security and about starting a website and starting an online marketplace and stuff like that. I'm sure that stuff's out there like for free, but it just seems like they didn't allegedly didn't look into any of that stuff and just said,
if you're one of the biggest consigners making, if you're one of the biggest consigners making a shit ton of money off of really other than your name, like they're not your cards, right? You're not selling your cards. These are cards that people are sending to you for you to sell, and you're making money off of that, almost making money out of air, as it were. You can't afford to buy to pay for a cybersecurity firm or a website firm in general. Like, come on now, what are you doing here? So if this was our quote unquote last best hope for someone to compete against eBay, I could see a bunch of other consigners be like, whoa, Probstein tried it, he screwed it up. I'm not even going to waste my time or effort in trying to do that. So I don't think anyone coming off of the platform is ever going to try and push against the eBay platform. It's going to have to come from someone like Amazon or Walmart or one of those other big company places to make a competitor for eBay in the hobby space, because the biggest consigner did it and failed miserably, hysterically miserably failed at this.
Yeah, it's not good for the hobby that this happened too, because why is anybody else going to try if he didn't do it? Right. Thus far, he has not made any comment at all about the security breaches, the allegations of shill bidding, the potential loss of personal data. But Darren Ravel has made a statement. He went and on Collect, I think it was also on Twitter, said that the Snype terms of service allow employees to bid on items that are for sale there. And a lot of other auction houses do this. So instead of giving us the hard news, everybody took this as him defending Probstein. I would argue maybe an employee's allowed to bid is a little different than if they were manipulating the bids themselves, this as sellers. I don't know. This is I don't think a blanket terms of service saying employees are allowed to bid on items here means that you should be bidding on your own items that you're selling. That crosses a legal line, I am pretty sure, because there are other people that have gotten arrested for doing similar things like this in the hobby before. So, but here we go. We're okay. Going back to eBay. Oh, this is like the hobby media is doing nothing but like just kind of whitewashing this whole thing. It's ridiculous that like this other story is out there. Like there's a lot of unanswered questions. People need to somehow get to the bottom of that. Let's not push the new narrative and like his new agenda and stuff without maybe having a little bit of conclusion to what was going on. Am I wrong?
Well, even beyond that, Darren Ravel should be looking into the story of all these auction houses having terms of service like this. That's the bigger story. Like it's not just, oh, everyone does it, so it's okay. Like if you're an actual reporter,
that's it though. Everybody does it. It's right. Okay.
If you're an actual reporter, you should be investigating that and seeing what the legal ramifications are of a terms of service. Let's be honest here. Raise your hand if you've ever read your Apple terms of service. Come on now. Like scroll, click. Like credit cards are the same way. And I'm not, saying that you shouldn't have a responsibility to know what you're getting into but burying in the terms of service is intentional because people don't read.
Yeah.
Them.
So those things are written knowing that nobody's going to read. So.
And employees should not be able to bid on their own. Do you know what employees aren't allowed to do at casinos? Go into their own casino and play blackjack. Even though, again, or play slots or anything, even though they don't have any real advantage, they don't know anything more or less than you and I do, but it just is a bad look regardless. This crosses even beyond that, where it's beyond a bad look. It's potentially illegal if shield bidding is illegal in the states that it's occurring in. Like, this is unbelievable that Darren Ravel, who is supposed to be, again, this hobby watchdog, is out there not looking into this story. This is a big story that all the auction houses basically are doing what Dr. Beckett said was okay, and defensive shield bidding. Like, yeah, if you really, really want a card, I'm sure if you work for Probstein and something comes through the door, maybe you can negotiate to get that card before it even hits the auction itself. To actually be bidding, are you actually bidding to try and get this card? I mean, maybe there are a ton of people at Probstein who are huge card collectors. I would hope that they are. And there's this one grail that just comes through the door and they're like, I got to bid. Well, be transparent about that if that's the case. Be like, hey, there's a Probstein employee bidding on this, or a heritage auction, or REA, or whatever, one of the other.
Or have a designation on their user ID.
Yes.
So people who are bidding know.
Yeah, 100%. Some sort of transparency.
If you're going to allow it, let us know that that person is an employee.
And don't bury that you're allowing it in a 10,000 word terms of service that no human on the world is going to read before bidding.
Yeah, Joe, you hit the nail on the head with Darren Ravel. He's reporting like the facts. The facts are that that the it's in the terms of service or whatever. But you hope he's working on a larger story. You hope that he is digging on that. Part of the issue that he has right now is that Probstein isn't saying anything, and Snype isn't saying anything, and I'm sure their lawyers aren't saying anything. So you're not like, you can't get any sort of comment from both sides of the story. And so hopefully he's digging on something related to this for sure. The thing was the Honey Bunny. Is that the name of the account that had like a 12,000 bids or 12,000 items?
27,000.
Yeah, 27,000. Yeah, like that. I mean, that is an example, a clear example of a problem. Like that is a problem within their company. I realize that maybe super collectors, people like that in the company, but that many bids and then that many items in the first like couple days of the company being out, it just smells really fishy. Like, if again, all allegedly, we're only going by screenshots, all that sort of stuff, but that smells kind of fishy. You hope that on eBay that Honey Bunny changed their account name so that they don't show up when they're on all the Probstein
I called it hubris. I called it hubris last week. If they didn't change their name on eBay and it's Honey Bunny on eBay as well, that is all sorts of hubris.
Honey Bunny 1. Just
Honey Bunny 1, yeah, _1. And to your point, EP, about him not saying anything, like, dude, if you're not guilty of something, holy crap, you're trying your hardest to make yourself look it. Like to not respond to any of this stuff. Like, the show bidding is whatever. You have to deal with that. That's a whole other can of worms. The thing that you should be commenting 100% on is any potential data breach, because there are people out there. How many users signed up and had to put their credit card information, maybe their social security, maybe their home address? All this stuff is potentially out there. You could easily just say, I would even be fine if you didn't even mention the show bidding in an initial statement and just said, the data breach stuff, that is untrue. Here's the information.
Or we're investigating the allegations of the data breach.
Because that actually can affect real people's lives in a very negative way. So for you to not even mention that, sure, the show bidding, maybe you don't want to mention because there's some legality to it that maybe, that terms of service is not going to hold up potentially. But like the data breach thing is just so, I'm rich. I don't have to deal with people who signed up and might have had their identity stolen. I can just not worry about it. Like, it rings so, like, I don't know, like tone deaf that he's not even considering mentioning this to a lot of people who probably signed up and are very, very nervous right now about it.
Yeah, those terms of service and the agreements that you go into go both ways. Like, the company is forming a contract with you, so like that. I mean, you should definitely be doing something about this. Like, there's a lot of people out there that you are responsible for right now. Make a statement.
Well, Darren Ravel may not have put much out about it, but I actually found a fantastic article on Sports Collectors Daily by Rich Muller, who's their editor there. Mm-hmm. He had a very well laid out story that talked about the issues, talked about the alleged other stuff. And actually he reached out to two different lawyers. One of them said that, they're legally required to investigate to make sure that nobody's data was exposed past the point of something that would like be a state law. So yeah, like it is what it is here. They have an obligation that they have to look into this data breach thing. If people's personal data, what was out there, see if it crossed any limits for state laws and stuff. But like Rich Muller's article was like, this is what I want to read. Like, it laid out everything. It wasn't pointing fingers at anything, but it gave the facts as they came out in the story, stuff that Darren Ravel didn't want to touch. And like, Darren Ravel started Collect to be the real media. Those people at Sports Collectors Daily, they like do a good job, a really good job. And Rich Muller's, I don't know if you've read this yet, EP, but make sure you go and check this out, because I feel like you'll appreciate it, with your background and what you do for a living. Because I think he handled the stuff that was a little touchier, but did it in a really good and proper way, not pointing any fingers or anything, but just, giving the facts of where these things have been said, and then reaching out to lawyers. Like, God forbid, Darren Ravel, why don't you reach out to lawyers and find out about the terms of service and stuff like that? Like, you could do that, but no, it feels like more Collect just part. Darren Ravel's been in this hobby a long time. Old Boys Network out there. Probstein's been here. You cannot tell me there's no link to all these old boy networks that still never, they're Teflon. Nothing sticks to them. They can do whatever they want. Ken Gold is the same way. Brian Gray.
Yeah.
There are people that have very questionable things in their past that just get to continue to go. And I feel like maybe in this instance, Rick Probstein's just doesn't even have a thought in his mind that this is going to affect him, because it's not gonna, right? Are you gonna stop? Are you gonna stop bidding on his items on eBay? You should. Stop doing it. Do not bid on anything that guy is selling.
But that's the problem. Was it Card Purchaser put out a poll?
Yeah.
And it was like, will you bid on Probstein auctions on eBay? And it was like 90% said no. I'm like, bullshit. You are so full of shit. Oh,
that card I want comes up.
Right. Or oh shit, I can get it cheaper by bidding here. You know, like, oh, I might have a shot at an auction on this one, or this is my grail that I've been looking for, or like, yeah, everyone in their minds, it's like when, what was it? I used to watch The West Wing back in the day, and there was this great bit where, you know, like 90% of the people thought that public TV PBS should be paid for. And the people were like, no, they just say it on the phone that they watch PBS because they want to sound smart, right? Like, this is what that feels like to me. It's like, oh, I'm going to virtue signal and say, oh, of course I won't. How dare that guy do what he did? No, I will never. Oh, wait a minute. I can get this for that price. Oh shit, I'm in. You know, that's all it takes. And for Probstein, exactly what we were talking about the last couple of weeks. Like, he could just, the Homer Simpson gif, right? He can slide back into the bushes, wait for something else to happen, and he'll be like, oh, awesome. Like, this is great for me.
He didn't even have to wait.
Right. What was the story? What was the story that we were talking about before this? That they're like, oh shit, this is the great Probstein doing this shady thing is the greatest thing that ever happened to us. What was the story?
It was Patrick Ryan.
Patrick and
Ryan.
Right. See, we don't like, and I mentioned last week, we're not going to talk about that again.
Would we remember it?
Would
we remember the Patrick Ryan thing if they weren't both like shield, like there wasn't shield bidding as both parts of it? Like, would we have forgotten it even more?
Probably not.
Right. So like, Probstein is like, oh, I just need to wait for the next story, and not even that. Maybe he won't release a statement until there is a next story, and that way it'll kind of get buried if he even releases one at all.
Him going to eBay was the next story. Like, he was, I mean, they're trying to bury it by being the next story.
All right.
Crazy out there. So I didn't get a chance to watch Sports Card Radio's video last week about it, but I think I've seen on their social media and stuff, this is a real legitimate question about comps in this hobby. Like, they're fake. Like, a very strong argument could be made that most of the high-end comps that everybody sell everything else off of are being faked and manipulated. There's so many auctions, like right here, all these places can bid on their own stuff. They're shill bidding it up. Well, why would they sell it beneath a certain level? Because it's an auction, and if it only sells for 50% of what the card's worth, that's what it's worth. But these are all being propped up. This just blows my mind. Like, when you really start to think about, are these comps real? Is anything real out there for comps? Unless you're looking at Terapeak on eBay, which thank God we have that, because it's actual sales that are actually paid for. I don't know what Card Ladder, whenever you see Card Ladder saying in a private sale,
right?
Like, come on. How are you verifying that? Are you looking to see if there was actually a bank transaction and then checking to make sure that wasn't reversed 6 months later? Like, private sales, all this stuff is not verifiable, and we're basing the prices of all this high-end stuff off of crap like this.
And so the most devious part of this, right? And I forget if I caught a bit of Sports Card Radio from this past one, or it was the P. Ryan one. Again, these shill bidding stories kind of all meshing together a little bit, but they made a really, really great point about, it's not the $1 million card, the $1 million card that is it's probably fake, right? The comp is fake. It's not about selling that $1 million 1-of-1 card again. It's about the person that owns the 5 of 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the person that owns the 10 of 10. It's about the person that owns the out of 50 autograph. That $1 million sale up here might not have even happened. It's just pulling these other cards from the base card of that 1-of-1 to every refractor, everything. So if this 1-of-1 is worth X amount of dollars, then it starts pulling up the lesser cards of that player or of that card. It starts pulling those up. That's where then you can pump and dump a little bit. You can be a big time YouTuber and you can be like, look at this. This card sold for $1 million and it's the 1/1. I had the 5 of 5. What will you give me for that? That's where it starts to get really, really shady and really shitty and really like devious.
Well, that's what they were saying that people do too. They buy the out of 5 or the out of 10 of stuff, and then they pump the higher one, knowing that they have these other stuff, not disclosing that they have 2 copies of the out of 5 or 3 of the out of 10. And they push and push and push the big sale of the 1/1, knowing that's going to make their investment higher in the others.
A rising tide lifts all boats, right? A rising fake comp lifts all lesser cards, right? And that's kind of where we're at now. And it's the people who can afford those 5 of 5s probably got them on the cheap because, again, and I don't know if we talked about this last week, we may have, the people with all the money know when these 1/1s are going for sale.
Yeah, that's what they said. They buy those when they know that's going to come up
before it's actually come up yet. They'll buy them beforehand, and it's just like it's the skeeviest thing.
It is. It's absolutely insider trading.
Yeah.
But there's no regulation in the hobby, so everybody, like, it's not illegal. They just do it. Just like everything else. God forbid any, like, I don't want the government sticking their nose in everything I do. But when you see something that is clearly a problem, where clearly certain group of people with a certain amount of money are manipulating a lot of stuff that goes on price-wise, somebody at some point needs to
in an industry, in a $1 billion+ industry.
Yeah, so much money is wrapped into it. That's where the issue is, right? I mean, there's so much money wrapped into that high-end stuff now that there's got to be something's got to be done.
Yeah.
To your point, Mike, about the card ladder. I listen to their podcast. They do say that they verify. They go out. They verify the individual sales. But I wonder how many times, how hard they go into verifying sales from people that they know, people that in that upper inner circle. Like, I'm guessing if so and so tells you, oh, that it was a sale, oh, well then that's definitely a sale, because they're always good for their sales. So I could probably see a lot of that kind of stuff happening.
And that makes them complicit.
But if I give you $500 for a card and they see the transaction, and then a month later you give me that $500 back, they don't see that. So
yeah, definitely.
Like, I don't. Yeah, my question is, how do you even verify an in-person sale, knowing that it was legit and that it's going to stay legit?
Right.
Like, I don't know that they can't.
Yeah, you really can't. One of the things, the one thing I wrote down was the ease at which Dr. Beckett said defensive shield bidding in that podcast is the scariest part of this for me, because
he said it before. Him using that term so easily, I feel like he's used that term before. So I feel like it's not the first time that he's ever said the word defensive shield bidding, and he's probably done it.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. He probably has done it.
Yeah.
Oh,
crazy.
Oh, well, that's the Probstein update. Everybody's been bugging me about it. They wanted to hear it. That's why we're here today.
That's why you didn't go buck hunting today.
Exactly.
That was the only reason.
The only reason. All right. Let's see. Where do I want to go from here? I don't even know where I want to go. Let's talk about Black Friday first.
Okay.
Did you guys buy anything on Black Friday?
I did, but not card related. But Michael, you bought something on Black Friday.
Oh, you guys didn't? I did. I actually bought myself a case of Panini Impeccable Live Golf. A case, $3 case. Where did I even buy it from? Blowout. I think I got it from Blowout. Damn them. I looked at their price was like over $200 cheaper than like the last sold price on eBay and where it was anyplace else. And I saw they had one case left. When I saw that, I'm like,
you have to.
And you know, the other dangerous thing about Blowout is, like, they're so close to us that if you buy it, like,
I got it. I got it the next day.
The next day. Yeah. Yep.
I bought it Friday. I got it Saturday.
They're Virginia, I think.
Okay.
So they're super close. Like, yeah.
So are you going to open it for the channel, the full case? Because it's only like what, 5 or 6 cards or something?
Yeah, I feel like I have to right now that I mentioned it. If you want to see me break my case of Live Golf Impeccable, let me know. Let me know in the comments.
I do. Yeah, because that's the one you get a bar of something.
You can, yeah. You can.
I think you get one per case. At least in like football, I think football and basketball, you get like one per case. Okay. So I would assume they do the same.
Platinum or gold or something like that. Like
silver, platinum, gold are the 3. Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. I bought a Lego Star Trek set, USS Enterprise. Mike is thrilled for that. Mike hates Lego.
Hate Legos.
Yeah.
I have no patience to do that kind of stuff.
He ain't building no IKEA furniture. That's for sure.
No, God, no. I hate that too. Yeah. I mean, they look cool when they're done. Don't get me wrong. There's just no way in hell I'm doing a Lego set. Not doing it.
I didn't buy anything, but I did find out that the Black Friday's origin is from Philadelphia and the Army Navy game. They used to get thousands of people show up in the city the day before the game. It was always the Saturday after Christmas. So the police and bus drivers and everybody used to call it Black Friday. Oh, you don't want to go into town. It's Black Friday because there's so many people in there. It's a mess. And so that's the origin of the Black Friday name. So there you go. The more you know.
I have a great joke about Black Friday. I'll tell you guys after we stop recording.
Okay. Yeah. I also then decided to buy a couple boxes of Looney Tunes. I bought a couple of Looney Tunes hobby boxes from Dave and Adams. Because they've had them for sale. It was yesterday I bought them, but like they were down to like 15% left, and I'm like, well, I better get them. So I bought 3.
You did some retail. You did some retail rips.
I did,
right?
Yeah,
that's a really really cool set. Again, I mean, we talk about Upper Deck, and we did the Batman metal break, and there's just so many cool sets that Upper Deck does that reaches back to their old IP that I absolutely love. So yeah, that should be a fun breaking and pull PMGs out of there. I don't know I think they might have Jambies in that too. I think maybe.
I think they might.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, they definitely have sketches. They definitely have the PMG, so it should be really neat.
It was like $75 a box.
It's a no-brainer. Gosh,
again,
2025. Jeez.
Again, between the fake comps and everyone trying to manipulate the market and the cost of wax and all these different things, I know I got some pushback from last Wednesday's show about me telling people stop collecting sports cards until the market bottoms out. $75 for a box of cards that you will have a blast opening up.
Mm-hmm.
There's my point. You just made my point. That is exactly why, hey, take a little break from sports cards. Do what EP said. Maybe collect some of the older stuff. Maybe buy some older.
Well, I'm going to have fun with my golf cards too, though.
Right. But I wouldn't consider those traditional sports cards. So I was more talking about the big sports, football, basketball, baseball.
Well, I got some deals on Black Friday, but I didn't get the best deals because apparently somehow BeFriends accidentally sold hobby boxes for $1 a box.
Oh, okay. This is
what? Wait, what?
These sell for like $600 a box on the secondary market. Yeah, somebody goofed, and they went up for $1 a box and actually shipped to people that paid $1 a box. They actually sent out emails to the people who purchased them for $1 a box, asking them if they would be interested in selling them back or returning them. Gary V, to his credit, actually did a video and posted it, and he said, first of all, nobody's getting fired, which maybe, I don't know, but no, cool, good. Somebody made a mistake. He said that, for the resellers out there, if you took advantage of this, that was just good luck for you. They're good for you. So he was pretty cool about it. He knows nobody's gonna send them back.
Right? Yeah.
Why the hell would you? But yeah, BeFriends $600 box sold for $1 a box. Wow.
This
is the one time I'm upset that I wasn't paying attention to BeFriends stuff.
Yeah,
I watched this, right?
You would have sent them back.
Yeah, you would have sent it back.
Yeah, what would you have done? Because you're Mr. Do the right thing out of the three of us, clearly.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't even consider this doing the right thing.
10 of these for $1 a box.
I would keep them, but if they canceled it, I would not have been upset. If they would have canceled, I was like, okay, I understand. That means
no, they actually shipped them though.
Yeah.
So if they actually ship them, then I feel like
I think if you're buying them for $1, you're kind of expecting they made a mistake and they're going to cancel it. But if you get it, then oh well.
Yeah, I'll tell you this.
I'll sell them back to them at market price if they want.
Even a little below,
even a little below. I'm 90%. Curious how many of these boxes went out. I'm curious how many they actually sent.
I think they were up for like $1 for like 15 minutes or something like
that.
So I'm gonna guess a lifetime.
That is a lifetime. You know how they could have gotten them back? This is just me spitballing, like, you know, hey, Gary V, call me. But this is me spitballing. This is how you get them back. You say, if you get them back, if you send them back, we will print off a one-of-a-kind card and have Gary V autograph it and trade you them. You know, show us your proof of purchase, and then that card will be probably just as valuable. Won't cost V-Friends hardly anything to do, and then that way you get your money. The people who got the benefit of these boxes get something that they can probably sell for what they could sell those boxes for. I mean, there was something beyond just we screwed up. I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they weren't like, I fired someone. If you don't send back the boxes, we're going to send the cops after you. I'm glad it wasn't like that. But I will say there were other ways for them to get those boxes back, I think.
I have a question. So I'm not sure. I'm not in the space. I don't know how popular V-Friends are, how many people are talking about them. But something like this will generate a lot of interest, right? Will generate a lot of headlines and a lot of people talking about it on podcasts about cards. And I just wonder maybe if maybe the 15 minutes worth of boxes could be putting on the hat, maybe 15 minutes.
You need to get your own hat at this point, ED. I'll tell you what, that is big time conspiracy stuff right there. Get a Penn State one. Christmas gift idea. Put that in the memory banks. That's actually a good point. Like, they put it up for 15 minutes, and Gary V doesn't seem like someone who'd be like, "Oh, that's okay, I lost a bunch of money."
But he does seem like somebody who would
do this. Maybe. Look at you,
right? All right. Well, we talked a little bit ago about Probstein heading back to eBay. We've heard Joe complaining about eBay authentication week after week. I was watching a lot of stuff on social media, sellers who say they aren't selling anything. They're pulling all their stuff from eBay. Yet at the same time, eBay is selling more cards than they've ever sold before. So I figured, since there wasn't a whole lot of news this week, we could talk a little bit about eBay and their place in the hobby, their place going forward in the hobby. Like, I see people all the time complaining about eBay. Complain.
eBay as a word.
eBay all the time, but they're selling more cards than ever. What is going on? Like, that doesn't make sense. That it's so bad, yet everybody's buying and selling their cards there.
I'll tell you what, this is, I used this phrase before, I'm going to use it again, virtue signaling. These are people that are saying that I'm done with eBay. This is ridiculous. I'm pulling everything. This is crazy. The fees are ridiculous. The authentication program's terrible. I'm going to put it all off. That's what they're doing.
I love how you included yourself in that.
I know. That's what they're doing. But guess what? They're not actually doing it. That's what they're saying. They're not actually doing it. Period. I mean, it's clearly people just looking for people to feel sorry for them. Like, oh, maybe eBay will read this tweet about me pulling my 30 items off, and they'll be like, "Oh, we got to change our ways, boys."
Yeah.
Like, come on. It's the classic. It's the classic. Just let me complain into the internet, and maybe I'll get something out of it. That's all it is. No one's heading off of eBay because it's still giving you way more eyeballs. Now, I will say, and I've been working on a video about this a little bit. I will say, policy positions, whatever you feel about these, this is not a political or policy podcast. Whatever you feel about the tariffs and how you love them or hate them, whatever, there is some effect on the international sellers. I know international sellers who are pulling stuff off of eBay because they can't sell anything. The import fees are not only crazy, but the import fees are also kind of unknown until after you purchase the cards. You don't know what you're going to be paying in import fees. So like, I know a lot of international sellers are doing this. Has nothing to do with eBay though. Right. So like, I don't know. This just feels like someone wanting to complain on the internet, or a bunch of people wanting to complain on the internet and thinking it might make a difference. It's not going to.
First off, I want to say, I just need to say to both Joe and Mike, with perfect internet voices of people in the hobby, like that's totally what these people are like in the hobby. Second, eBay is the largest card shop in the world. Like you can go on there and search for just about everything. You're gonna be able to find prices. Obviously, the prices aren't, you're not gonna like. You're not going to find the perfect card at $1 that you want to get your Grail card for $1. You're going to have to pay for it. Like, that's the thing. But I said in the intro, I have cards I need to ship. I had somebody buy 3 Winter Soldier cards, a Nationals prospect from 2017 who has done nothing, but it's a silver card numbered to 550 or something like that, and probably a National Super Collector. And another, I bought a deck of cards. One of them was the King of Hearts, was of the Iron Man, and so it's all MCU stuff, and so that sold for $3. So if you are not selling stuff on eBay, it is your own fault. Your prices are too high. Lower the prices, and you're going to be able to sell stuff, or work out deals where you are able to.
I have $100 into this card. I can't sell it for what the actual value is. That's a lot of people think that.
That's not eBay's. Yeah, but that's not eBay's fault.
That's not eBay's fault. That's your fault for being an idiot.
Now, I've heard a lot of people too saying, full disclosure, I have almost nothing. I think I may have pulled the last 3 cards I had on eBay. Mm-hmm. I haven't sold much on eBay other than the set collection that we went and bought. But like I've seen a lot of people saying that if you don't promote your listings, you can't sell cards anymore. There was some kind of change. Everything's changed with the algorithm. Is there any truth to that? Because I don't know how far back this goes, but I have never been somebody who promoted stuff. I'm not paying fees on top of the fees that I'm already paying, and I've never had trouble selling anything. I feel like if you're at the right price, it still sells, but maybe I'm wrong. Has something changed?
Hold on, EP, before I forget this, because it's going to give you a little pat on the back here. Mm-hmm. We were talking before we started recording about some stories for this week, and EP mentioned a Chris Sewell video. I think that's what the video you were thinking about, EP. He talked about a strategy to sell on eBay by ending your listings and then relisting them and doing a mass like 10% discount and then relisting them. So instead of just lowering the price, if you relist them, they're new. So the algorithm you can kind of play around with the algorithm. Right. Yeah. So that's how I do it as well. Like I don't generally promote something. Now, I've had a few things that have just been on there and I just don't feel like I have some wrestling figures, for example. And I just said, you know what? I'm not going to keep these. I have no interest in keeping them. I did promote those. And I only sold like 1 or 2 additional things. It's not like, oh man, all of these things just sold randomly. With the Batman metal case that we bought and broke on the channel, I didn't promote anything. I mean, I think if it's a new product, never promote it, because there's going to be people that are constantly looking for that new product to finish sets or get character collector or collect their favorite athlete or whatever. If there's a new set out there, but in terms of the I don't know. Like I generally will pull things off and relist them, and I get a lot more eyeballs. Sometimes I get some offers on them. I think that's the way to do it. I would never promote something like that. If it's like things that I just want to get rid of, I will, but I haven't noticed the difference with the promoting versus not.
Well, yeah, I watched a video. I can't remember who it was. It was somebody. It was a card person. Was talking about the way eBay looks at your listings, and after a certain amount of time, your listing's been in your store or on your page, it gets practically delisted. It's it's not like delisted. It's still there, but people have to like search for it, and it's not going to get in
almost like shadow banned a little bit.
Yeah, right. So if you when you do the end and then relist or whatever, when you end it and then relist it, it resets that meter. So the number of I bet you probably 3 of the sales that I have that I need to ship are from doing the end listing and relist, because that does it does pump it up. But I will also say that I will a lot of times when I'm doing a listing the first time, I might not promote it. Sometimes I do. I only promote 5%. That's the most I do. But when I do the end and relist, I always promote to 5%, because that's something that has been there for, in theory, at least a month. So it's been on my store for at least a month. So then I'll throw 5% on it as an extra, try to goose it a little bit. So that's something that I do. And I have no problem with the 5%, just because with the stuff that I'm selling, there's a billion of them out there. So if mine gets a little bit higher in the search listings, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with paying the little bit extra. So
all right, that's a good point. I would never promote, like, I just sold a Leonard Nimoy autograph recently, which, man, I think I put the right year down on that. Now I better go double check. But like something like that, I would never promote. Like I don't see any. But I think you make a good point about, like, you sell a lot of like $2 cards, $3 cards. The only issue I have with promoting, if you're going to accept offers, because then, so you have, say, a $10 card and someone offers you $5, and then you go back and forth and it's $7, but then you actually get like $2 for it because you have promotion fees plus the eBay fees on top of that. Right. Plus you're taking a low offer on it. Like, there's like all those things add up to, it's like, oh, I'm shipping this card for free basically. And it's, it adds up.
Yeah, that's why I want to do like 5%. Like if you look at a recommended, like the eBay will give you a recommend. Oh, you should recommend.
Like 12%.
It's like 24%. I'm like, I'm not giving you 24% of least sale.
You're already getting 13. Now you went basically 50% of my sale. It goes into eBay's pocket.
When I open my app up too, like the older stuff I had to, like in there now it says you should promote these. You want to promote these? I'm like, no, I'm not promoting those. What else did I want to talk about here? I've seen a lot of stuff too with people like telling you how to sell cards on eBay. There's one guy on Twitter I've seen a lot. He says that people that waste their time selling the $1 and $2 cards are just not maximizing their time to make money. He sells lots, and he's like, everything I do, I sells a lot. I sell player lots. That's all he sells, and he tries to make the point, which I think there might be some validity to, that his amount of money earned per time is a lot higher from doing that than it is listing individual cards and trying to sell them that way. Also, Ty Wilson, for some reason, I don't even follow him on Twitter, but his posts get shown to me all the time. And he's in this phase now where he's telling people the right way to do stuff, like how great he is at selling, which they sell a lot of stuff. I kind of joke, but still, whenever you see anybody telling you this is the way to do it, it always makes me kind of cringe a little bit. But
and he has staff, to be fair. He has staff doing all this. So it's not an apples to apples thing here, Ty.
But what are your thoughts about the lots thing?
I do lots. I do player lots. And it's funny. I'll randomly, I'll put up like 30 Randy Moss cards, right? From 99 to 2001 or whatever. I'll do like 30 of those, and they won't sell. Then all of a sudden, randomly, someone comes in and buys like 3 lots, and I'm thinking, like, the time, like, if I could easily list those cards for $1.99 plus 75 cents shipping. But can you imagine? EP, that's your bread and butter a little bit. Like, I can't imagine like the time and effort to do an eBay standard envelope for like 30 individual cards versus just sleeving them, put them in a team bag, putting them into a small box and sending them off. The lots idea is a really good one. And I think EP, you've even kind of toyed with that a little bit as well. It makes it a lot easier, but I'll tell you, someone needs to be looking for 30 Randy Moss cards instead of just one of those 30 Randy Moss cards for you to make that sale. So when you list them, just don't think, oh, this will sell in like 3 days. I mean, there's a good chance that they could be in your eBay store for like a year before they sell. And then randomly I'll get an email, oh, your Jim Harbaugh lot of 30 cards just sold, for full price. I'm like, what? How did that happen? It's more of a shock than anything. But yeah, if I just have cards like individually lotted out or individual players in lots, I tend to be able to sell those compared to having to deal with the whole one card at a time thing. I don't know how you do it, EP. I got to be honest.
A lot of the stuff I have listed is would not sell a lot. Like people wouldn't buy. Like the guy that I sold the Bowman prospect is Eric Fedde, Fedde, who's nobody has ever heard of. Like I wouldn't be able to sell an entire lot of his cards, right? So it's a lot of that kind of stuff. But I have toyed with the thought of doing lots. I've seen a couple of videos, probably from the same person, Mike, that you were talking about, who said he does a lot. The video I saw was he does 6 card lots of everybody of everything, and has increased his the money he makes per his time considerably by doing that. And I've considered doing that, but I would have to do the star cards. And typically right now, my star cards go in my boxes for the card shows. And I saw a lot of the other stuff that aren't like the star players on eBay. So that's kind of where I'm at with what I do. I've toyed with starting with selling some of those cards on eBay and trying to do lots just to see what the difference is and see how that goes. But yeah, it is a thought and something that I've considered.
Well, if only you had a huge collection of football cards that were sorted by player that you could list as lots.
As long as they're semi-sorted. What was the line you kept using?
Quasi.
As long as they're quasi
alphabetical, right?
Yeah. Quasi alphabetical. I will say about like our Batman Metal case that we broke. At some point, I probably will like take like if the Nemesis parallels don't sell as individual cards, and I have them as listing, like the drop down listings. If they don't sell individually, I'll probably package them up and say, here's 10 purple parallels, here's 10 Nemesis or whatever, and try and sell them that way. Eventually, give some time for people to try and build those sets out. And if they decide, after a certain amount of time that, okay, it doesn't look like anyone's going to purchase any more of these individually, I'll probably package them up like that in lots. Maybe that's something you can consider too.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that, but I mean, we're just random. We're just like shooting off the cuff here. But like the Halo boxes that I bought, I sold a lot of singles on eBay, and I made my money back on the autos and that sort of stuff. Like the stuff that I have left is not a ton, but I could put all that together into one big lot or sell instead of taking it down the individual lots.
Halo insert lot.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know people love when I quiz you guys.
Yes.
So
let's do it. Let's go.
I have here to wrap things up this week a list of the 10 most dangerous sports around the world. Do you guys want to compete or do you want to work together?
Let's work as a team on this.
Yeah, I think we need to work as a team on this one. Yeah.
Okay. I will give you 5 misses. If you can get these without getting the 5, you win. If you get to 5, you lose. So let me write down my strikes here so I can keep everything straight.
Oh my God. I don't know if we'll get a single one.
Do we get an extra strike if we get the numbering correctly? Like if we get number 1 correct, will you give us an extra strike?
No, we're not doing that. Why do you always have to
always clarifying questions? You're a former reporter.
So these are the top 10 most dangerous sports around the world. What's your first guess?
I'm going to say cliff jumping.
That's a strike on that one.
You were looking, you were thinking.
I was trying to find maybe something I could give to you as that. But
all right.
Rugby
is number 6 on the list. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Very good guess.
Wrestling
is not on the list. That is strike 2, Joe.
But he keeps looking, so I'm close. I'm close.
American football
is number 7 on the list. Yes. A lot of injuries, a lot of bad things that happen. Yes.
I'm thinking of extreme sports, and that's my problem.
Why? Things that are dangerous could be anything. Skiing is not on the list.
We lost Representative Sonny Bono from a skiing accident. How is that not on the list? Oh, this is bullshit list. EP, you're carrying me.
Ultimate Fighting.
That is incorrect. That is 4
Really?
strikes.
Oh god.
That's not on the list. They literally punch each other in the head and kick each other in the head.
Boxing.
There you go. I was trying to give you a hint there. Number 2 is boxing. Staying alive with 4 strikes. I might need to give you a couple more.
Oh gosh.
You've got 3 of the 10. I will say that yes, the rest of these I believe would be considered individual sports, except for maybe one of them that you're probably never going to guess anyway. So
individual sports. It's not my turn, so this doesn't count as a strike, but playing golf with Joe Day, is that
number 1.
Number 1.
Oh man.
Okay, people are going to be turning off if you don't come up with a guess here.
Yeah, I mean, riflery.
That is incorrect. That is
Archery?
5 strikes. Archery 6. Okay, let's just go over this list for you.
Skateboarding.
There's strike number 7.
Wait. Spelunking.
Weightlifting. Powerlifting.
Powerlifting, strike number 8.
Spelunking?
Spelunking, number 9, strike number 9.
Oh, I thought it was
That's
number
not even
9.
a sport.
Okay, well, let's put an end to the misery here. At number 10, the 10th most dangerous sport, surfing.
Oh.
You got sharks, you got drowning, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Isn't surfing just skateboarding on the water?
Yeah.
It is, but number 9, bull riding.
Okay.
I thought you were the way you said it, I thought you were going to say bowling. And I'm like, Jesus, what happens in bowling now?
Number 8, auto racing.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Number 5, mountain climbing.
Hmm.
I would.
You climbed Mount Everest. You know how dangerous that is.
I did.
Number 4, skydiving.
That was in my head. That was in my head, and I didn't say it.
It is for the purposes of this list.
It's an athletic activity, but is it?
Number 3, here's the one. I guess it's a team sport, kinda. I don't know. It might be individual. I don't watch it. Highlight.
I was gonna guess highlight, but I mean,
Highlight. Isn't that a card game?
No, they have those big rounded things.
Stick.
They throw that ball and people get nailed in the head and like.
So it's like lacrosse. It's like lacrosse.
It's like lacrosse, but with no. Yeah, but I think the ball goes faster and there's no padding. Yeah.
Okay.
And the number 1 most dangerous sport, bullfighting.
Bullfighting.
Because sometimes the bull wins.
Yeah.
Let's just remember that. Sometimes the bull wins.
The bull with the horns. Yep.
Bull with the horns.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I feel like that's probably enough for this week. We better wrap stuff up there. That was a pretty good chat this week, guys. And I will see you next week. See you guys.
Don't forget, use your code. Use your code Eugene. See you, boys.
Eugene Ponderosa signing off. See you Tuesday.